जी
Namaskar, Pawanji.
जी
First of all, big thanks from the CDF, Connected Dreams Foundation, for giving us your time and also sharing your experience about the challenges which we face today in the agriculture sector. Uh, I know that you have a rich experience of having worked with farmers across the country, and you are innovating on many other ways. So it is always a pleasure to have Mr. Pawan Kumar, who is the Chief General Manager of the Pantajali Organic Limited. Am I reading the? So, Pawanji, what we are intent to talk today is that are going to have a hackathon where we are soliciting the ideas from the various young people, entrepreneurs, or experienced farmers, or even institutions, agriculture research institutions, so that we could also address the issue of climate risks in agriculture. So there are four themes which had been shared with you probably. And
sure.
today we would like to know that yes, you have been working on organic farming, which
Yeah.
is very much critical to the climate issues. So first of all, I'd like to hear some experience about what you have been doing and how has it impacted the lives and the economies of the farmers, if that would be wonderful. Yes, Pawanji, over to you, please.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for this opportunity. And I would like to share a very recent example, a recent in terms of my professional journey, last 3 4 years particularly. We have been implementing a program called the Farmer to Farmer Extension Program, Farmer to Farmer Program, Farmer to Farmer Knowledge Sharing Program, wherein we have been associated with farmers from various states of the country, 18 states of the country, and we trained the champion. We identified the champion farmers. We identified the farmers who are interested in training other farmers and helping other farmers. And thereby, when we trained these farmers, we were able to create a network of these farmers who would then go back to their respective villages, and they would then train the nearby farmers on good agricultural practices, organic farming practices, chemical-free practices, and also some element of natural farming, which is now more prevalent now. So in this context, we are able to reach out to 18 states, train 1,000 farmers. Out of that, 700 farmers actually were able to conduct the training program, and thereby reaching out to around 72,000 farmers in this way, because the farmer is there in the village. Unlike a proposition where we take them to another, whether we bring the farmers to another location and then expect that they will be following it themselves. But with the farmer being there in the village, so the constant interaction with the farmers and this trainer farmer is happening, and they are experiencing that, okay, what has been told, what is being practiced. And so in a very organic way, this whole journey has been a very useful learning journey for everyone, including us, and thereby leading to various innovations on the way, because every farmer will be a unique farmer. His setting, her setting will be different, and they'll have all kinds of experiences. So to consolidate these experiences, we have been, and as far as the training is there, yes, the training program will be a limited program. It cannot be always be there, but the consolidation of the farmer's experience has to happen over a period of time, and his learnings, because there are various stakeholders who are coming to farmers and telling all kinds of things. So the farmer is very aware and very, has a lot of experience with dealing with external, people and who come in and say all kind of things. Sometimes the things may not be followed up, may not be true. So, but in this context where the farmer is able to assimilate the learnings and thereby also connect with the nearby farmers, I feel that this approach is more sustainable, more, in the long run, it benefits everyone. And at the local level, the capacity is created, and the capacity helps in moving to the next steps and consolidating the learnings. So that has been our experience. And so when I say training, the training is a mix of theory as well as practical experiences, whereby the organic practices or the natural farming practices are being done by the farmer himself. And then the other farmers come and see the theory and the practice and then maybe try to move forward gradually. The change also always happens gradually. You cannot expect that the farmers will suddenly change from chemical to organic or natural farming. So the farmer, because he has to create an ecosystem around himself, he has to create an opportunity where this farmer is able to then create all the assets which are required for organic farming or natural farming, and then try to move forward and say, okay, now I have the things ready at my disposal. I'm confident about the practices. I have the knowledge. And if there's any requirement of a support system, yes, we have this farmer or by nearby farmers or other farmers, or maybe us also, who can help us, help him or her, and take this initiative forward. So that has been the one part of the our experience. And to take this experience further, we have had several, as I said, various ways in which the farmers have started their own journey and started to move forward and consolidate their experiences through knowledge sharing with other farmers, maybe in the same state, maybe in the same district, maybe in other districts, other states where we have been functional. So we created an online voluntary program where these farmers are able to connect, share their experiences, speak their issues, challenges, and also help other farmers wherever possible. So we have also been through that journey of connecting with the farmers virtually and garnering their experiences for a common good, so that it reaches other people are benefited, and there are many stories around that which I can share.
So I believe that this training material has been developed at your end only, and there are a lot of innovative things which you have used. Probably, can you just throw light on that?
Yeah, so as part of our learning journey, we initially created a booklet, which is there. Okay, organic farming. This is what organic farming is there, and we inculcated the curriculum of model curriculum of the Agricultural Skill Council of India, and used that curriculum in the beginning. But as we move forward and based on our experiences, we felt that we need to simplify further. We need to demystify things, and so we started off by making a game. We tried to play games. We tried to involve farmers through games. And as what we call it, to demystify and simplify. You simplify things, we demystify things, you make everything very clear. And so the various elements of the game, this is the snakes and ladders game, for example, where we are able to discuss with the farmers. And the basic framework is that we consolidate the experiences of the farmers together, so that they are able to bring their experiences, bring their experience of what they have been experiencing, what they have been doing, including their failures, and try to move forward from there, and try to move into something like actionable activity. So the snakes and ladders game, we started with the organic and natural farming. Then we started felt that this is not enough. We started working on soil health. So another game we were able to make on the soil health, then another on water conservation. So
Wonderful.
the snakes and ladders game, capacity building, knowledge sharing. The first one is promoting organic and natural farming. Again, very simple principles of the snakes and ladders game. Everyone has played it in their youth. We have another one on soil health. This interestingly caught the attention of many stakeholders in the country as well as abroad. I have got it translated in uh, 26 languages so far.
Oh, great.
And so this was done by volunteers. I mean, we did not use Google to translate. We asked people, whoever was interested, they connected with me through WhatsApp, through mail, and I sent them a framework, and they were able to, translate it. They conducted a small webinar with these people, and they are quite interested to try it in their own language and use of locally relevant words. So this has become, and so here in the soil health, we have also included the soil health assessment through methods, the physical, biological, and chemical methods, and some things that the farmers can do themselves. And so when we have promoted it, this is an idea that many people appreciated it, and they are planning to use it in their own context. So we simplify things, and the pledge is another part which is there in all the games, including the one on protecting our rivers is made for rivers. Any river in the world, I think we can use the same principle, and people living in the catchment of those rivers and the entire journey of that river. So here we say Gomukh se Ganga Sagar tak ka safar. And another one I have made on Narmada. The Narmada festival is getting kicked off tomorrow. They are using our banner. It is called Amarkantak to our Arab Sagar tak ka safar. तो उसमें हमने विजुअल्स दे दिए हैं. We have given visuals, we have provided, and asked people. And because the Narmada Yatra is going to start from day after tomorrow, someone is going to carry them on their yatra of a 10-day yatra or a 7-day yatra, and start discussing with farmers, people, municipalities, and so on and so forth, and hopefully lead to some kind of a constructive change as far as the river ecosystem is concerned. So these are some examples of the games. There are few more under progress based on various themes. Another one on nutrition is there, which is going to be developed. Another one on seeds, organic seeds is something which is getting developed. So we need to work very closely with the stakeholders, especially the farmers and the grassroots level functionaries. We also can use these games very effectively for sensitization of students, the school teachers. So we can conduct capacity building programs for interested, school teachers, and they in turn can then connect with the students and follow it up on a regular basis. So if you do it only with the students, it may not help. But if we get interested, teachers who are, interested to work on their environment, and they are interested to in the well-being of their farmers and our natural resources, the soil, the rivers, the other aspects, the biodiversity. There's another thing on biodiversity which I have on the soil health. I have tried to do, and still under progress. So the teachers can make a hell of a lot of difference in the lives of their students, and through the students we can reach the farmers, we can reach the women, and we can ask them to take the pledge. We can ask them to take the discussions to their homes and thereby make the changes, because we are training only looking at farmers, we are not looking at the other elements. So when we did this pledge with the women, particularly women, we found were much more interested, they are much more in this thing. But the problem is the decision making may not be there for the women everywhere in the same thing that we would like them to do. So if we use if we are able to sensitize the teachers, and through them we are able to reach out to students, the students can take the discussions back to their parents, then ask them. You ask them, have a facilitative questions, we can ask them as part of their assignment. And I see a lot of opportunity in that, much more than training only farmers, only male farmers. The opportunity lies with sensitizing students, and the opportunity lies with sensitizing women. And we can go to the next step of actually promoting the preservation, conservation, protection of our natural resources, which are getting degraded very fast. And there's a lot of concern about safe food now. We are talking of, nutritional decline in the food that is being eaten. We are talking of the nutritional deficiencies that are becoming apparent, and so on and so forth. So maybe this is one of the tools in which we can quickly sensitize people. We can bring about also these tools can be used for urban population. Why not? These urban people need to understand what is our resources, why the protecting our rivers is important, why protecting our soil is important, why they should be buying directly from farmers who genuinely produce organic and natural commodities, and thereby leading to some kind of a reduction in the distress as which is being faced by the urban communities. So the urban communities, so this I feel this is a universal way in which we can reach out to a large number of people. And also the main aspect is the discussions that should happen. We have to have a system where the discussions are being done by communities, and maybe through various programs of the government, various startups, various schemes, they can inculcate a bit of element which I am just saying, and that will really help people to move forward and do something about their contribution as far as society is there, the natural resources is there, conservation is there, and just look at things in a different way than what is being done in this consumeristic society that we are creating and which is getting maintained over a period of time. I think we should try to look at the alternatives which need to be, practiced now at this time.
Right. Thank you. I think what I found interesting was that involving students, Connecting Dreams Foundation (CDF) is working with lot many students in colleges. Probably we'll separate discuss how this tool can be taken to the various colleges
Absolutely.
of Delhi University. That's another issue. Coming back to the topic, Pawan, you would agree that the climate change has been real threat to the existence of humanity, with the soil erosion, erratic rains, and the droughts and floods, which are we are not able to predict, and things are becoming so much alarming. Now, what are your suggestions what suggestions for the farmers, especially, or even the entrepreneurs? We don't want to confine ourselves to only farming community. Yes, there are many agri entrepreneurs which are coming up. What would you say that in light of these climate resilient issues which are coming up, what should the farmers or the agripreneurs or the policymakers should be thinking about?
Yeah, I think the approach of climate change has to be, segregated as far as the agro ecosystems in India specifically. When I see the agro ecosystems, there are very agro ecosystems, and they have been demarcated very nicely by the government. In fact, the map they have also demarcated it on the map, and also this demarcation of highly developed regions, less developed regions, moderately developed regions. There's a framework which one of the institutes of the government of India, I think the Economic Research Institute in Delhi, I think their paper I have seen, and they have used this approach to look at these indicators of why a place is more developed or which is less developed or least developed or moderately developed. They have mapped the entire country. So now if you use this framework of the agro-ecosystem zone and rather than only the administrative boundaries, what I would like to say is that the farming systems is the most important thing that we are observing. So in the less developed regions, for example, it may be the tribal areas, it may be the areas where the green revolution has not reached at all. There, the farming systems is different, and there, you may feel that it is an inefficient, but at least they are preserving their environment. The damage to the environment is not so much as compared to a highly developed region, which may be the Punjab region or which may be Haryana, where they are doing monocropping, and the damage to the environment has been the highest. And there, we need to understand that this damage to the environment, based on the farming system practices which are being followed, is leading to a lot of other problems in society as well as on the natural resources which we are endowed. So we have this cancer train. People talk about the cancer train thing happening from Punjab in some pockets, and the water levels have gone down to such a large extent. So if we understand it from that perspective and we look at things in a segregated way and look at the problems of each agroclimatic zone or the highly developed zone or the less developed zone and look for the opportunities over there, we feel that I feel that you see number one way for the entrepreneur that I see is that this person I met some time ago is working on the GI crops across the area. Wherever the GI crops are being grown, he's collecting them, marketing them through their own, through his online platform and promoting the GI, component. Now, the GI component crops are not there in the so-called highly developed areas, not so much in the monocrop based farming system, but in the less developed farming systems. So that is one way of looking at the opportunities, and the farmers who are growing these crops wherever the 10,000 FPO scheme is there, and wherever they are able to collate and combine and bring about an economy of scale, I feel that they should be very well encouraged. Maybe an extra encouragement needs to be done so that they are able to preserve the farming systems that they are practicing, the organic, the natural practices, without getting so much into the pushing them into the chemical based agriculture. And so this natural farming initiative of the government of India, I'm part of that initiative. They are making the MOOCs, it's called the massive online courses on natural farming. Part of that committee. We have
Yeah.
moved forward, and maybe that is going to bring about some kind of a change. We have piloted with the Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Rural Development a few blocks, a few batches of the Krishi Sakhis. And as I said, the women are in the forefront, will be on the forefront of bringing about a positive change as far as the farming practices are concerned across the country. And that is the hope, that is what we feel. And as I said, that the woman will be much more sensitized and much more ready to accept the practices which do not harm their family, do not harm their children, and also in our context of Indian culture, do not harm planet Earth. And so when I shared this game, the soil health game with the ministry, and they said, "Ki we look at we want to dedicate this game to Mother Earth, the three M's, as I said, the three M's, the Mother Earth, the Krishi Sakhi, the Mother Krishi Sakhis, and the Gau Mata. The Gau Mata is the third Mata. I forgot the Gau Mata because that is giving us this essential microbial food for the microbes and the other animals and the meso and macrofauna which stays on the soil. So we look at the opportunity of working with women and dedicatedly working on bringing about change at the grassroots level. When we look at the opportunity of working with students, I think we need to work more on that also. And through this approach, I think on an entrepreneurial approach, on a slightly welfare-based approach, on a capacity building approach, we should be able to consolidate and reach out to a large number of people and hopefully reverse climate change. Climate change is not going to reverse so easily. So I have been connected with this person who is on the solar yatra of the country for the last few years. And so actions that to be taken by individuals as well as collectively in urban spaces as well as the rural areas need to be framed out very effectively of what is to be done. So this person who does the solar yatra says that even ironing your clothes is leading to climate change. So
Yeah.
why can't you just stop ironing your clothes once a week, for example? On a Sunday, don't iron, wear ironed clothes. Don't, do so. Take small action, take some action which is going to contribute positively. So the vision of this actions needs to be consolidated as far as the consumer, the person who's there, he needs to take and needs to be sensitized through various means. And I feel that should make a change that the climate change is not only for farmers, it's not only for people who are in urban areas, it is for everyone. So I mean, everyone needs to take a change,
Correct.
take change. Yeah, make a
Yes,
change.
quite rightly what you have placed. Coming to the last question of the day is that what do you feel about diversification in agriculture practices? Probably we need the time has come. India has to think about. We need to think of more of horticulture or floriculture or sericulture, something of that kind. Do you feel that
Yeah.
with the climate change, these are the answers or some of the solutions to the things which are happening? So
Uh,
diversification of agriculture is what I'd like to you to
Yeah,
speak.
yeah, yeah. The diversification of agriculture is a very dear subject to me because I worked in a project on diversification
Oh,
with the government and so many years ago. So the basic premise of diversification in agriculture has to move away from this monoculture based farming systems into more diverse, into something which creates uh, better soil, which conserves our soil, which leads to income for the farmer, maybe for a longer period of time rather than only at the harvest of monocropping patterns. It also creates an opportunity for the birds to come, the bees to come, and the biodiversity below the ground, the biodiversity above the ground, which is very well explained in some infographics of the FAO also. So this diversification and the need to be involved in farming practices in much more detail and much more clarity, with much more knowledge, is something that the farmer has to be sensitized and taught. And the farmer has to get away from this thing that I'll just plant my crops and maybe once or twice I'll go, and then I'll use labor, and then at the time of harvest maybe I'll be going again. So this is happening in in some of these monocropping farming systems, and the farmers over there are going to be in distressed very soon, because no amount of fertilizer or subsidy is going to help their soil. So the diversification, wherever it is happening, needs to be promoted, needs to be encouraged, needs to be showcased, and because the farmer, how will the farmer learn of the monocropping farming systems? They won't learn just because we tell them. They won't learn just because the government has to tell them. They won't learn because it's becoming a very convenient thing for the farmer. They're not doing any work and getting into all sometimes a lot of problems, health related problems also. These farmers in these farming systems are getting into all that. So diversification, need of the hour, integration of energy, integration of knowledge, integration of the resource cycles in the farm, looking at the farm as an integrated way, using the waste of one system for as a fuel
Recycling.
for another system. That is the basic essence, and that should be encouraged. And such farmers who are practitioners should be encouraged, and they should be recognized. And that is what the government should do.
Right.
And their story should be showcased. They should come on TV. They should come on other platforms, social media, and saying that this is a practice which is something which is good. This is something, a good thing you are doing. This is something which is we should continue practicing by all the farmers in the country.
Right. Thank you, Pawan. So kind of you for giving us your time and your thoughts and your experience with us. Wish you all the very best, and thanks once again from all of
Thank
us.
you, sir.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Namaskar, sir. Namaskar.